in two guests at the same time. It is UFC bantamweight champion Cody Garbrandt and his uncle, striking coach Robert Meese. We got you guys on the line. How you doing?
Pretty good. Yeah, we're doing great. We just finished up our last sparring session of fight camp, so it was great, man. Everything was fine-tuned, firing on all cylinders. So we ending the fight camp on sparring note, healthy and hungry to go in there and do the job on the November 4th.
Yeah, and you got Bob out there with you, staying in your house, I believe, correct?
Yes, it's been awesome. It's been awesome being able to have my uncle out here who's bored me into this fight game and trained me countless hours throughout my childhood, my early career of boxing, amateur fighting, all the way up to the pro ranks. He's followed me everywhere I went, been out here with me. So it's been great to have him, consistently out here and just developing our craft and getting ready to defend this title.
Cody, you guys get asked all the time as fighters, do you feel pressure on this fight? When you were fighting Dominic Cruz on a big card in Las Vegas, your first UFC title shot, you feeling any extra pressure? I'm sure that'll get asked of you, in the next couple of weeks. Madison Square Garden, your first title defense. Is there pressure? Was there pressure back when you asked your mom for more time? And was it? Because I got to believe, it sounds like the way you're describing it, that you always had confidence that you were going to be successful in fighting, but you kind of knew what was waiting for you if you weren't successful, right? Like the coal mining. That's probably what you were going to do if the fighting thing didn't work out. So did you feel pressure back then, or have you always just been sort of a guy who doesn't feel that type of pressure, doesn't put it on yourself?
Driven. I don't never feel pressure going into this, because this is a life that I worked for. This is the life that I was blessed with. I was blessed with these opportunities. Yes, I had to go out there and capture the opportunities, but I'm blessed and continue to be blessed with these opportunities. Madison Square Garden, facing TJ as my adversary there. My first title defense, coming off of a lengthy layoff with injuries. That's what motivates me to get back. Is what I have to gain from a fight, not what I have to lose from a fight. I'm not afraid to lose. Fear doesn't stop me. Losing doesn't stop me. I've lost more than just a fight. If that's the worst thing that happens in my life, I lose to TJ and Madison Square Garden, then I live a pretty good life. I'm not afraid to lose. I prepare to win. Fighting's crazy, MMA is crazy, anything can happen. But the fear or the thought of losing doesn't, stop me in my progress or stop me in fear, as it does to some of the fighters, where they can't handle that pressure and they start thinking of this and that. I just go out there, man. I love fighting, and fighting is always what I've had in my life. And no matter where I was at in my life, it was a good part of my life, it was a dark place, it was a happy place, it was good times. I've always had fighting. And I'll always remember, sometimes I would, come to the gym, happy as can be. Sometimes I needed the gym more than anything in my life, to go there and just kind of save my life. Really, fighting is something that truly saved me, from a life that probably wouldn't have been as happy. Working a 9-to-5 in a coal mine, and who's to say what would happen? But this life that I've worked for and gained through, the hours and blood, sweat, and tears in the gym, from small town gyms and basements and garages and all the way out to here, it's all worth it. I remember the start, and that's what keeps me motivated to know that I got this far from where I started at. What's going to stop me from going as far as I can imagine in my mind? And I think when you fear loss or loss of anything in life, that can put up roadblocks and stall my progress. But like you said in the beginning of the conversation, that you didn't think that I would win a world title this soon in my career, or this early on. That's something that all these people have hype, and they go out there and fight and do that. I think what is my difference from all the other fighters is the confidence I take into the octagon, and you see that with a lot of the fighters. Look at Conor McGregor. He might not be the best fighter, but he sure damn is confident that he's going to go out there and do what he thinks he's set in his mind, because he manifests that. And some people want to say cocky, but that's his confidence. That's his confidence that is, overflowing. And a confident fighter is a strong fighter and a dangerous fighter. I mean, confidence is huge. And, you know, I have all the confidence in the world to go out there and knock TJ out whenever I want to knock TJ out, do what I want to do with TJ, do what I did with Dominic, what I did with TJ, do all my opponents what I did. That's just a level. I'm leveling up each fight, and you see that. I went from 1-0 to 11-0, world champ, had 4 fights, you know, all knockouts. You know, Dominic was a foe that was able to, you know, stay in the game only because I let him stay in the game that long, stay in the fight. I was having so much fun, you know, in my first world title fight against one of the best power pound fighters in the world that, you know, I didn't want it to end. I worked so hard to, you know, to get here. You know, it's 25 minutes to change the rest of my life. And every time I step in the octagon, it's an opportunity to fight for a better life. And that's what I'll do. Now I have more motivation. I have a child on the way. I have a wife. I have, you know, a house. I just bought a house. So, I mean, things I can, you know, didn't dream of a few years ago are coming into existence now because this is what I want. I'm ready for that next chapter, new things in my life. And this is, you know, nothing new to me. You know, I'm not letting any of the fear of anything that comes in my way. I know that there's going to be adversity, just like I overcame with these procedures, these back injuries. You know, I knew that I was going to be fine. I knew that I was going to get the, you know, medical help that I needed, do the rehab as much time as I needed to take off and get healthy, that I'd be back to reign the division and go on from there.
You said a confident fighter is a dangerous fighter, and I can't agree more. Do you think TJ is a confident fighter? Is he one of those guys that just naturally has that level of confidence? Do you see that in him?
He's a confident fighter when he's a front runner, when he's doing well in the fight. You know, when he's doing well in a fight, look at any fight, it's a close fight. You know, he'll lose his focus. He'll lose his mind in there. You know, when he's doing well in the beginning of a fight, you know, he'll carry that on. But if you get in his face right away, like Dominic took him down right off the bat, you know, the first takedown, and he was playing catch up, so he lost it and was swinging that air, missing, you know, just all over the place. So I feel like he's confident until, with a lot of the fighters that he's been fighting, you know, that stood in front of him, they're flat-footed, that don't hit hard, that don't, you know. So, yeah, with a certain opponent, he's confident, you know, a certain opponent. But he knows what he's up against, you know, November 4th, and we'll see how confident he comes out. And you can come super confident, you know, and your confidence is, you know, for me, when you fight me, it's until you get hit, till you get cracked, and then you'll see the confidence. You see their eyes. You may not be able to see it in the audience, but I can see it when I'm in there. You know, I can see it when I hit him in the eyes, or hit him hard, crack him, and their whole demeanor changes, their eyes, their body language. Cruz had a good poker face. I'm sure TJ will have a good poker face. But, you know, the eyes don't lie, and that'll carry my confidence over once I crack him. But so, yeah, he'll be confident until I crack him, and then he'll be looking for his bag of tricks. He wants to say, him and Dwayne say he has a bag of tricks for, but I know everything that TJ's going to do and try to do. He's going to have to stay on my level, go at my pace, and fight my fight.
I know you've spoken about this plenty of times, and I know the gym is the gym, practice is practice, and also you're getting a lot better. I imagine that TJ is improving on his game as well. But one sparring session that stands out between the two of you. Give us just a little bit of an inside look at what happened in the gym between you two.
With me and TJ?
Yeah.
What on sparring, on wrestling, on any of it?
Oh, just anything.
I was literally, TJ's giving me the supreme confidence. Dude, he was at his peak. He was, you know, the world, or not even the world champion. He was the interim. He's the paper champion. So, you know, that was the champion at the time. Dominic was sidelined with injuries, and that's what gave me the most confidence in the world, was coming out here, going with TJ, knowing he's at the top of my weight class, the weight class that I'm going to be in, the weight class that I'm working towards. I literally came out here 1-0 with a dream to be a UFC champion, and TJ gave me a supreme confidence. I know how well I was doing against him as he hit his peak. He's had his time to shine. He's had his time to be a champion, you know. He's going to go keep hashtagging the rest of his career after he loses me, road back to gold. He's going to be chasing gold his whole entire career because he's not going to get it off me. You know what I mean? He had a fake sample of it, you know. He had a fake sample of it with the interim title, but he's not going to come close to this. He's not going to come close to being it. As long as I am in this division, he'll not come close to touching this belt. And I'll make damn sure of it for the person that he is. You know, I don't respect him as a person. He's not a good person. You know, I respect him as a fighter.